Hello YouTube. This week I've got the keys to a 2017 Chevrolet Bolt EV. Let's take a look. Alright, so this is the Chevy Bolt EV. This model is about 50,000 Canadian, and when you get a rebate in Ontario, you get another 14 grand off of that in Ontario. Kind of looks like a Mercedes B-Class, B250, maybe a Ford C-Max. It's a little bit smaller than the Ford C-Max. Kind of looks like a jelly bean, but it's kind of cool in its own way. And you've got, of course, the Bolt logo here, which is kind of cool. And it is a hatchback. It's got backup camera. This is pretty much loaded, so it's got a lot of features. There's the trunk here. This is kind of neat. You've got 3 levels for storage. You can kind of store some stuff under there. And inside here, you've got your charging cables for your 120 volt charging, and your tow hitch, and a pump for the tires as well. And then this thing can be up here or down here or way down if you don't need it, so that's kind of cool. You got your tonneau cover, which is normal little strings just to hide that, and you can take that off here too. And then you've got a 60/40 split seat here. It folds down, which will give you, even though it's a small car, you're going to get a ton of room with that. Can I get these off? Yeah, here we go. So that's what that looks like. Alright, in the back, you've got folded down the seats here, so you've got a flat floor if you've got the got that up here. This one here is leather seats. As I said, around 50,000. Got some cup holders there. In the back, you've got heated seats in the back here. These seats are actually kind of thin, so they give you, even though it's a small car, you've got a lot of leg room, and 2 USB charging ports on the bottom here as well. And then you've got this wide open area in the front, and let's take a look at that. Alright, so this is under the hood. It's kind of cool and futuristic. This is your electric motor and batteries and all those other cool things. You still have, I guess this is a cooling fluid. And that's what it looks like. No engine, just a motor. And then the charging plug on the side here, just like a gas tank. You pop that off and you've got your level 2 and level 3 charging here.
Brakes and power gets you.
Wow, that is fancy. Oh, that's fancy too. All right, check out that glowing power button. All right, so when you start it up, it just kind of powers on. And I've got the owner of the car here, Todd. He's going to help me out because there is so many features in here. For somebody that's just kind of stepping in the car, they're never going to figure them all out. So what do we have here?
So we'll go driver's center first. So in the front of you, that's obviously the speedometer. It's controlled by telling us to put our seatbelts
Yeah,
on.
we're not moving, so there we go. Okay.
That's fine.
So yeah, you've got...
So you can change what you see there with the arrows up, down, left, right, change your all kinds of different settings. The far left side is what most people are going to be most interested in. So that's your range, current range on the far left, a green bar. So I left this morning the house with a full charge. Over here, if you look to the right, this is the amount of distance I've traveled since I left the house. So I've used just under 5 kilowatt hours of the 60 kilowatt hour battery to go 40 kilometers. Now you can see on the range estimator, I have a maximum of 501, which puts me then at 540 as a maximum on a single charge to the 60 kilowatt hour battery. Probably it thinks I'm going to do about 425 based on my driving habits. I've only owned the car 2.5 weeks.
Cool.
And at the absolute worst, I'd probably get 350. So, on an average, we're looking at around 450 kilometers probably on a single charge.
Yeah, so what do we got in this crazy thing here?
So this here is, this is the main dash, this is the home button, and you can change this to whatever you want. So if you hit on edit right here, you can have the standard layout, the eco layout, which I have right now, family layout, which is like radio stations and everything with a clock, or custom, where you can add any one of these however you like to. So I just keep it on the eco. It's the information I want to see. When you click on the energy button, you have a couple options. So this is that other screen, just bigger. Shows you what you use for driving, how much for the climate, and how much for battery conditioning. That's the fluid you saw up front. And then your distance traveled and the energy used to do it. There's also, gives you kind of a score. So my driving is really good. I got the egg between the foot and the pedal, as they say. The terrain's been okay. The climate settings, I'm not using it because it's not cold enough or hot enough, and the outside temperature is a bit bad because it's still, going down into single digits overnight. This tells you your average kind of kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So I've been averaging, in the 14-ish range.
Yeah, and you can see all this stuff in an iPhone app or an Android app too, right?
Yeah, you can. There's several apps. You can use the Torque Pro app. You can use. There's 5 or 6 different apps. Chevrolet has its own app as well. My Chevrolet, which can see a few things as well. Let's see what else we got here. So you can go to. So this is also in the energy section. That was the information we looked at. You can go to Flow, which shows a little thing of the car, and it shows the battery pack. And as you're driving, the wheels start spinning. It's kind of neat. And then you'll actually see electrons going this way into the front tires.
Yeah.
And then when you let off the gas, you'll actually see the electrons flowing back in as the car is regenerating.
Cool. So, all right. So if we go here, I assume if you go, is there a real home? So it's a 4, but okay. So this is your normal, although this is fancier than the current GMs even, like the other models that they have. This is still kind of your audio and your phone, and this is for Apple CarPlay or the Android one.
Plugged into USB to use that.
Yeah, and then if you've got a gallery, if you've got USB in there, and OnStar, and does this slide too? No, it doesn't slide. Okay, so camera, unavailable.
So put your foot on the brake.
Yeah, so if we put it in reverse, this is the same thing that was in the Buick I was driving last week.
Yeah.
That's and do you find sometimes it doesn't work when you go like that?
Well, you have to push that button.
Oh yeah, I know. Right? But I've done it where it just doesn't work. Anyways.
Yeah. So now the camera can work. You don't have to be in reverse to use it.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So you can use it going forward if you want, or you can use it going backward. It doesn't really matter. And that selects which camera you want to look at. So this is the front one, and that's the back one.
Does it shut off at a certain speed?
Yes. Once you start driving, I believe it's 5 kilometers an hour, it'll shut itself off.
Yeah.
If you're driving.
So only Tesla allows you to have it while you're driving.
Yeah. And so the rear view like this is good. So you were asking about what the other camera's for.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is look at the rear view mirror and adjust it for night view. So get yourself a view. Bam.
Oh, that's cool.
The whole thing.
All right. That's pretty cool. And then this is auto climate control, or that's radio.
Yeah, you can do auto. So that's
auto.
Radio.
That's auto climate control.
Like said, right now we don't have. I don't have the heater or the AC on, so you just turn that to turn it on. So you'll either have heat or AC based on your temperature.
Right.
Shut it off. It also eats up the mileage, so I tend to just use the blower fan.
Yeah.
Juice.
Automatic brights, as well as regular automatic lights, I assume. Yeah, based on, here we go. So this has got your automatic, and this is your dimmer here.
Yep.
All right, and then you've got cruise control, heated steering wheel, lane departure warning, blind spot detection as well.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, blind spot detection is on there. It's got everything. All right, everything I'm used to. And then down here, you've got a 12-volt plug and a little cubby hole.
Yeah, good for a small phone or whatever.
And a couple cup holders and an armrest with USB and 2 USB.
Yeah, so if you just slide this back,
oh, okay, it's just
we'll pop it open. And then there's further down there.
That's pretty deep.
Yep.
All right, and
so
then, this is the same as the Buick as well.
Yeah, this is actually for charging. This is wireless.
Oh yeah, see, it fits my phone nice.
And it doesn't fit mine. So wireless charging is available through here. This, what they did, if you ever have a tablet you want to put in there, but you still want to charge it, they put a hole here. So you can run the wire through this and then through there.
I wish I would have known that for the Buick, that was a charge. I put my phone there, but it doesn't charge that way. So
yeah. Supposedly that's wireless charging if your phone has the ability. So we're running.
Yeah. So it's running. Well,
I do my driving in only an L. That's how I do. So you can do D if you want.
Yeah, well, let's do it in D and see what it feels like, and then
and L will give you more regen.
So quiet. So compared to that Hyundai that I've been driving, right away, this feels a lot faster actually, and it is quieter. So that was quick to figure that out. Of course, the Hyundai unfairly is running X-Ice winter tires. So can you flip it? What happens when you do that? That is cool. Yeah. I would just drive like that.
I drive as fast as I can.
That is really cool. Love the rearview mirror. All right, it does sound like you're driving a spaceship a little bit. I think that's really cool. If you get used to that.
I guess you could get used to it. I've tried, and I don't know what when you're driving for a long time and then you look at it, you're like, oh, it takes that extra second to get your depth set properly in your eyes.
But if you just leave it there all the time, you won't notice.
Maybe.
Now, at night, it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, well, the problem with night is the lights. It makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
But it's pretty clear, though. It's a very high-def camera, so...
Yeah, it's definitely quieter than the Hyundai, and I think the ride is a little bit softer. Similar, though. And let's try this regen thing. How does that work? You hold the button. Oh, okay. So that's different from the Hyundai. On the Hyundai, you hit the button, there's different regen modes, but then you gotta keep, like... It's the same thing as pressing the brake, though, really.
Pretty much. Now, in L with regen...
It's the same as that?
It's a lot more. Just pull back, and you're in L. So your L is going to do all your work for you.
Yeah, and it does, and it stops you, pretty much.
Yeah, it stops you completely. And it'll hold you. Unless you're on a really steep hill.
But you're not lacking for power. I mean, it feels better than most gas engine cars, unfortunately.
Yeah, when you push the gas pedal...
Especially cars of this type, like a compact or subcompact car, doesn't have any power normally. No. So you've got 200 horsepower, 200 some pound-feet of torque, but it feels like more than that because it's just instantaneous torque. So it feels awesome. And this is a big hill, and I just tipped my toe in barely, and we're speeding up. So, well, there you have it. That's the 2017 Chevrolet Bolt EV. It's actually surprisingly really fun to drive. Tons of power with the torque. It's just linear and powerful. And it can go over 400 kilometers on a charge. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.